host, Attorney Jerome Pay. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question? Our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man, Roku, Fire Stick, Amazon TV, the SVP TV network app, or YouTube Live.
Okay.
You can watch us live.
Okay.
And then you can call in, got the phone here, ask any question that you want, even regardless of whatever subject we're talking about.
Okay.
And we'll answer those questions.
Okay.
Now let's give our shout outs. So we got to give our shouts, man, to my son. He's still doing this thing in California. I don't know how much longer he'll be out there, man.
Hey.
You know, California done broke down the many people, man.
Anytime you can be in California is good.
Yeah. Give our shout outs to Arkansas, Little Rock. Shout outs to West Memphis, Arkansas. Shout outs to Memphis, Tennessee, Shelby County. Shout out to Mississippi. Shout outs to Mom, this great state of Missouri.
How's she doing, Darryl?
Man, like a champ, man.
Hey, man.
You know,
hey, Mom. Yeah.
You know, I always get on her all the time asking when we gonna go dancing. So, you know, that's
great.
That's
man.
a good thing.
That is great.
Hey, Jerome, I don't know if you know this, man. If you drive on the interstate, there has been a substantial influx of police.
Yes.
And it's really been state police.
Yes.
I mean, there's been a lot of state police, you know, a lot of motorcycle state police, a lot of vehicle state police, you know, maintaining, you know, controlling the roadways.
It looks like they're pulling over people like every 500 yards you see a state trooper or something got someone pulled over. But, you know, it's in response to crime. Crime is out of control in Memphis. But the crime that we're seeing there, it was predictable. It was predictable if you don't have opportunity for people, if you don't provide another option for how to conduct your life, then certainly I'm going to find a way to have what everybody else has. Now, I can be a victim of a crime. Anybody can be a victim of a crime. So I'm not condoning crime, but it was predictable because we can look at the areas where it's happening at and show how there's no funding, there's no kind of recreation for young people, there's nothing going on here. And so people are choosing an alternate method of having what they want rather than using the method that we use. You get up every morning, you go to work, you punch in, and you punch out. So, but where are the opportunities for these people? I talk about it all the time there. We're spending money on projects and not people.
Ooh.
And so,
I like that. Projects, not people.
And so when you bring in all of these new police officers in, I don't see how that's controlling crime because police officers are usually only available after a crime. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So what does having another 100 or more officers come into the town if they're not in the community associating with the people? And so that's where I would like to spend some time at Darryl.
Man, you said a lot.
I know I did.
You said a lot.
Because it's been pent up.
Man, and they don't know. They don't know. Man, we didn't film last week. Jerome called me fire hot. Man, I got to talk about some stuff, man. I got to get some stuff off my chest.
Man.
So, Jerome, you said a lot, man.
Okay.
And I'm really trying to figure
parse it out. Do like A, B, C, or enumerate it. Point one.
So I can tell you what I do 110% agree with.
Okay.
That kids, and I'm talking about anybody that's not the age of majority of 18 years of age.
Right.
Especially male kids. And I'm talking black, white, or indifferent.
Right.
if you don't have activities or something for them to do, they will find other things to do.
I absolutely 110% agree with that there.
And so when you say it's predictable that we will be here because we have cut out community events, community opportunity, different things of that nature, I would halfway agree with you.
Okay. That's good. Look. There, I actually love that because nobody in fact, that's what makes a disagreement is we disagree on some things, but first of all, we ought to mesh out what it is that we agree on. And then we won't spend no time on that. All right? So you halfway agree, and I halfway agree with you. So now let's parse it out where we disagree.
Yeah. So what we disagree is I am arguing about responsibility.
Okay.
I think that there is this other element that's missing.
Okay.
And, you know, and where we also agree is how much, you know, I think that poverty or the lack thereof or lack thereof resources does play an effect in how this responsibility is parsed out.
Okay.
It used to be, and I'm getting kind of religious now.
Sure.
It used to be that the reason why people had the white Jesus, and there used to be, you know, there was a brother by the name of Dr. Naeem Akbar.
Yeah, yeah.
Akbar,
Familiar with Akbar.
Yeah, Akbar wrote a book called Psychological Image and Change of Slavery.
Yeah.
And what it said is that the mural of Jesus Christ should be outlawed.
Of any color.
Of any color.
I got you. Okay.
Because what happens is the mural prevents you from aspiring. If you see Jesus, if you see black Jesus and you're a white person, you can't aspire to black Jesus because you're white.
Mm-hmm.
If you see white Jesus and you are a black person, you can't aspire to be, you know, Christ-like because he's white.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you can't get to that next level, you know, you can't get to that next level.
I got you.
You know, and so if your parents, right, have not or are not trying or not willing to take this step, right, and you're watching them stuck in that step, you become inspired to be like that person.
Okay.
Which is not wanting anything, not trying to get anything, not anything happening for you.
Okay.
Whereas, you know, if you're this person and you're trying to push up, and I don't care, you know, look, and don't think, and when I mean this, I mean police officer, I mean pastor, I mean lawyer, I mean teacher, I mean whatever, right? If you're here and you are stagnant just because you are one of those professions, but if you're not doing anything, you know, you're not bringing anything to the table, you're not inspiring anything, then your kid has nothing to look towards. But if you know, one of the things that growing up, man, my mom will probably want me to say this out loud. I mean, I was broke as a joke, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, my pop, man, in the city of St. Louis, we had a garden.
You told us that before.
You know, and we grew vegetables,
Yeah.
and my father used to fish, and we used to get fish, and we used to sell fish.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
you know, all this to make
Yes,
ends meet.
yes, yes.
But what that said
Yes.
is my father was saying, go out and do something.
Yes.
Learn how to provide.
Yes.
Do these things. If you don't have a lot, figure out how to bridge those gaps.
Yes.
That's what my father taught me.
Okay.
And so that's why I am willing to go out here to figure out how to bridge those gaps.
Okay. Okay.
If you are not willing to figure out or inspire somebody to figure out how to bridge those gaps, you make everything around you stagnant.
Okay, Darryl. So that's good because I'm with you on that. Our problem as people of color, we've been here 400 years, okay?
Okay.
But we've only had maybe 40 years of even having a possibility of creating legacy.
40.
I'm saying because
43.
But even
40, 43. Yeah.
okay, so 40.
These are about 60s from the 60s.
That's exactly right. That's before then it was absolutely almost impossible.
Yeah. The hurdle was high.
Yes.
And if you made it over the hurdle, they would burn your town down.
Absolutely.
And then loot your stuff and take your money. Yeah,
absolutely.
got that.
So in the 60s and 70s, just in the 60s, you had some black people. Could be police officer. Ernest Withers was one of the photographer, was one of the first black police officers in the city of Memphis. And that was in 60-something, all right? So, but they couldn't arrest white people at that time,
Yeah.
all right? So firemen, I don't know when the first black fireman came about.
It's been 50 years ago.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in other words,
we did the 50-year anniversary last, not too long ago, so it's 50 years
So
ago.
they're just 50 years.
Yeah.
So we didn't have this legacy because some other people of other races have their fathers were firemen, their grandfather was fireman. You see what I'm saying? So all of that was just stripped away from us as people of color, right? So when we look at the different professions, we don't see people who look like us. That's why diversity, equity, and inclusion was so very important because it gave our kids something to aspire to, just like you were saying, something to aspire to. So that's why I won't watch movies that don't have black people who are the heroes in it.
You watching a lot?
I will not watch it because that's not showing me anything about what we can do as a people. When I go to a restaurant, I'm looking around to see how many people who look like me are serving. That's the kind of thing we got to get back to, Darryl. We can control what's happening to our community with our dollars.
No, I agree.
Our dollars
We've
will
had that
control.
black dollar conversation many a time.
And we can do it. And so the other day, Brent Taylor, he's a Republican senator, state senator from Memphis.
Right.
He was on WLOK talking about how bad crime is and our kids are not doing this and this. And they're all on Bill Anderson. Bill Anderson I think he's in Division 7.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And he's over the bails.
Yeah, he is.
And everybody's raising hell now about people getting bail.
Man, Bill Anderson is a hell of a judge.
That's a constitutional right.
Yeah, he's a hell of a judge, and he's a realist.
Yes.
You know,
you
that's
have a constitutional right. You just can't keep folk in jail, no matter what they've done. And so I called in and said, Donald Trump has 91 felonies. He's out on bail. How come a kid can't get bail? And so we got to start making sure that we try to equalize this thing some. So everybody raising hell because a kid get out on bail. But he has a constitutional right to be out on bail. The worst criminal we've ever seen before, besides, what's his name? One of those, the Valentine Massacre guy. Who was that there?
Well, that was that
With Machine Gun Kelly. That just was here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that we don't hear them calling them terrorists or what?
Yeah, you talking about the prohibition and nightmares.
Yes,
Yeah.
super. They call the black kids super criminals and all that kind of stuff. And they're right. It's what we're going through right now is a growing phase. So we have to invest in education. $61 million in Tom Lee Park. And Tom Lee Park is named after a black man who did some good things. But think about what you could have done with that money if you put it in the school system. Our children are failing the school systems.
They are.
And then we got Republicans who are taking money out of the school system and giving the vouchers for white kids to go to segregated schools again. So we're right back where we've been over and over and over again there. We got to put an end to this mess. Look, we have now another seat coming open on the Tennessee Supreme Court. All white. It's been all white for the last 20 years.
Yeah, when it
Somebody's getting ready to retire, so there's a seat open now.
Yeah.
The last one we had was, I almost called his name then. Hilliard or something?
No, it's
I can't think of his name. Anyway, he
Birch.
was Birch
Yeah.
was the last black Supreme Court justice. Now,
and we thought that the Army was gonna.
they wouldn't let the Army on, but he got something even better by having the courthouse name out there.
Yeah.
I was out there protesting about that, Daryl, back then, because we didn't have a black person on the Supreme Court. But Daryl, think about it. We are looking for people who have absolutely, many of them have no consciousness at all about right and wrong. You see what I'm saying? Just like over in Israel right now, how they are bombing those people like the Hamas like that. When you drop a bomb on a whole community, you know that you are killing innocent people, don't you? Don't your conscience tell you that there?
It does. It does. I mean, let me just say this. You step a little further, because when you start talking war is different, and war is interesting, and I've been there.
Let me stop for a minute.
Yeah.
Let me stop for a minute.
Yeah.
How can it be a war when I don't have a single airplane, when I don't have a single tank, I don't have.
Okay.
I don't have any. All I got is rocks.
Okay.
All I got is bricks and rocks. I might have.
Hamas bomb.
I might have a bomb there, but they got the Iron Shield.
Yeah. Hold on.
Don't they have the Iron Shield?
Hamas bombed. Okay. And then they did the same thing that the Taliban did. They threw rocks or threw bombs and hid their hand, and then try to hide behind the people. Again, is that right? No. Who's putting the people in the harm's way? When you do terrorists, what Hamas did is terrorist. What the Taliban did was terrorist.
What was it to us, Daryl?
Us?
In America, when we terrorized,
They knocked them damn towers down.
I'm talking about just black people.
Oh.
When they were terrorized us,
it was black people in them towers.
It probably was.
Yeah.
I know it was there, but listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. When you want to annihilate a people, you start giving them, we talked about this before too, you start naming them in such a way where you dehumanize them. Now, what did a little baby have to do with Hamas bombing Israel?
Absolutely nothing.
So why would you be bombing a hospital where those kids are at?
Hold on a second. I get what you're saying, okay? I don't disagree, okay? But here's the problem. You got these two things that are happening here, right?
All right.
Okay, you did this to me. Then you say you're going to go over here and hide here,
okay.
But I can't do anything to you.
Yes, you can.
What do I do?
You can do ground patrol and come in and get them people.
They were doing that.
Well, no, I'm talking about the airplanes, but I'm talking about when you bomb a neighborhood.
Yeah, but they did that. They did ground troops.
United States have provided Israel with airplane, one of some of the most sophisticated weaponry the world has ever known.
Yeah.
All right? So all of the money that we give them, what, $12 billion?
We give them a lot. I don't know what
annually.
Well, we give them a lot.
It's a lot of money.
We give them a lot of money. I don't know what it is.
When this is all over, who is going to have to rebuild it? Who's going to rebuild it?
Yeah, probably us.
My God.
Yeah.
So can we not? So the better thing to have done was say, so it's wrong. 2,000, you killed 2,000 Israelis. And it's wrong. They raped some women. That's wrong. But then you go and you bomb a whole city of people there. How?
But that's where Jerome, I'm not feeling you on this one, because again, You talking about somebody that beat the grounds in Afghanistan during the Taliban war? So I'm not feeling that.
So a criminal goes into a school. He robs a bank, shoots 2 or 3 people, goes into a school and hides in the school. Do you blow up the school to get to him?
No. But that's not the point, though. The answer to that question is no.
Okay.
But do you let him freely, willy-nilly be there? And the answer to that question is no.
Oh.
Now, the question is, how do we get that person?
You do it surgically.
Yeah.
You surgically determine who it is that committed the crime, and you go after that person. You do not bomb and kill a bunch of innocent people there.
Where was bin Laden? Do you know?
I have no idea.
He's in Pakistan.
Okay.
Okay. So he's an Afghan citizen.
Okay.
Who's not supposed to be in Pakistan.
Okay.
He's hiding in Pakistan.
Okay.
When he gets bombed, because they bombed him in Pakistan.
Okay.
You know, when he gets killed in Pakistan by the U.S.,
Okay.
you know, they went in and struck and killed him in Pakistan.
Okay.
When he gets killed in Pakistan, right, Pakistan is pissed because we come into Pakistan without notifying them that we coming in here to kill the guy.
A sovereign nation.
A sovereign nation.
Okay.
We're coming into your sovereign nation.
Okay.
And get rid of a guy.
Okay.
That's responsible for the 9/11 terrorist attacks and responsible for all this other stuff.
May or may not be.
No, he said
Because
he was.
remember,
He said he was.
Saddam Hussein was supposed to have weapons of mass.
Now he did not.
He was supposed to have weapons of mass destruction, right?
Yeah, we went on a tangent on Saddam Hussein. But bin Laden,
Okay.
Aaron said I did it.
Okay.
Aaron said it, I set it up. Aaron said it, I coordinated.
Okay.
I mean, he said all that.
Okay. Oh, all right. So, and then we wind up staying in Afghanistan for 20 years.
That's because we didn't know where he was hidden. He was hidden in Pakistan.
And so we spent $1 trillion.
Yeah, I get it. Because then because the Taliban was supporting the process. It was, you know, he was the head of the Taliban or partially ahead of the Taliban.
Right.
They were all part of the process, and so, you know, in order to get to him, they had to get through the Taliban and dethrone them and all that. So I got that.
I'm simply saying that I understand that, you know, that you've been in war and thank you for your service.
Yeah.
But there has to be some reasonableness somewhere. If I am holding the purse string and I tell you to halt the bombing and you don't do it.
And they did, and they didn't do it. Yeah.
Israel.
Yeah.
And the United States said,
and we need you to
stop.
stop. Yeah.
And he says, we're going to keep on going.
Exactly.
So what do? You pull the purse string away. I tell you what, if you do, you keep on bombing if you want to.
The U.S., like you're just doing right now, the U.S. is in a very precarious scenario in that situation, because U.S. has American.
So hostages.
No. They have American Israelis, right? And then they have American Palestinians.
Okay.
So both of those sects or factions are United States citizens. So the United States has a really tough thing because they have U.S. citizens on both sides.
Okay.
You know, and so the question becomes, how do you can't take this side, you can't take that side.
But they have.
Well, they did. They took the Israel side.
Right.
They did take the Israel side. And again, that becomes a little harder, but they have always taken the Israel side.
Right.
For
70 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because remember, what they did was they took and said, hey, right in the middle of Palestinian space, they said, hey, this is Israel's. What? In my backyard? I don't own it in my backyard. Well, you don't have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
And so that's where this conflict has started from. 70 years ago, when they brought and put Israel. Now, Israel has a right to exist, but so does the Palestinians have a right to exist.
So your position or your thought process is Gaza is.
It needs to be a two-state solution.
Yeah, again.
But now let's get back to the brothers and sisters.
Well, because if we see that become, I heard something the other day that in my mind is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
And that is that they want to hold parents accountable for the conduct of the children.
Well, I heard that too.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Because, you know, first off, some of these kids are stupid. and there's nothing you can do about it. Tennessee actually has a statute that says that, you know, parents are not liable for the acts of their children, unless you can establish that they're, you know, propensity.
A pattern of, should have known.
You should have known all that stuff.
Right.
And then it caps up to $10,000.
I got you.
You know, so, you know, you would have to rewrite the statutes and all that to make that happen. But why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you do
because
that?
they're looking for ways to control the behavior of the kids. Some parents have abdicated.
So you're saying turn them in?
Yeah, parents have abdicated their responsibility. No, by raising them.
Okay, I've been trying to raise them. This knucklehead ain't listening.
Keep him at home.
Really?
And then if he doesn't come in by curfew, then to put the authorities involved in it.
Oh, the authorities. Then here's what they say. Well, you know, you need to handle your kids. That's a civil matter. But they don't pick them up. They don't do nothing.
But remember, a lady did that from St. Louis.
Yeah, and they penalized her for it.
No, they brought her child here to recover, and they wound up killing that girl. That girl died here in Memphis in one of these supposed control situations. Ben Crump has that case.
I don't remember that one.
It's real new.
Okay.
So they said that one of these girl programs, and
they put her there to hide her from the kids?
No, they put her there because she was out of control at home. So her mother voluntarily brought her here in order to try to get her back on track again. And she wound up dying in one of those situations. That's the problem that we have now with people calling the police on their children or their neighbors. Mm-hmm. Because anytime there's contact with some police officers or people of authority, it always ends up tragic for black folks.
Yeah. Police and black folk don't go together. I tell you that, you know. Hey, look. Hey, we always, you know,
we just got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. Yeah. We got to pray, and we got to invest in people.
Yeah, I think you're right on this, and you know, I need to get Mike on.
I thought Mike was going to be with us.
I need to get Mike and Van on because you know Van, you know, one of his things when he was going to be mayor was some of these programs.
Get Paul on. You know Paul?
I don't know Paul.
I don't know Paul, but I do know some people who know Paul.
I don't know him. Hey,
well, Diane Young, his mom. You know, that's his mother, William and Diane Young from the Healing Center.
I don't know.
That's his parents. You don't know them?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We been going for a little bit. And we went on a tangent because Jerome been waiting to go on the tangent.
Man.
We'll be back next week and we'll talk we'll actually get a topic and we'll be on topic.
But still call and leave your questions for us.
Okay. Thank you and we'll see you next week.